of Cherishing Home, and today we're going to be making dinner. I'm going to be using a sauce that I've never used before. I got it from Sprouts, and I'm hoping that it's going to be delicious. And I just got off work. Some of you may know that I work as a substitute teacher, and one of the grades that I particularly like to work with is high schoolers. And we're talking because most of the kids that I was working with today in third period were 11th graders who were going to go into their senior year. And we're talking about college and the types of majors that they wanted to go into. And it just made me really think about advice that I wish I had when I was in their shoes, because nobody talked about lifestyle when I was growing up. When I went to college, it was all about like, oh, you'll get a degree and you'll be set for life and you'll make lots of money. And I laugh now in millennial because I went to college. I have a bachelor's in psychology, and I'm not rolling in the dough, but I feel like my lifestyle is a lot more where I want it to be. And that's because I had to sit down and I had to really think about it. And of course, this happened in my 30s and not in my 20s when I was in college. Fun story, I did go back to college in my late 20s and early 30s for credential, because I wanted to be an actual teacher and not just a substitute teacher. But nobody talked about lifestyle. They just talked about getting your college degree and, you know, you'll be set and you'll have like a high paying job, and just not actually looking at a degree or the type of job and what lifestyle actually comes along with getting that degree. If you're wondering, I'm cutting up a yellow bell pepper and I'm just dicing it. And I was just like, okay, so I want you to think about like what type of lifestyle you want in life. Like, just don't think about the degree, don't think about the job. Like, what type of lifestyle do you want? Do you want to have a bunch of time where you're with your family? Do you want to be family oriented? Like, I'm a big family person. Like, my priorities are, I want to be there for my son. And I told them, you know, when I was going into the credential program and subbing, I got married and had my son, and then I was like 3 or 4 classes away from finishing up my credentials to become a SPED teacher, which, don't get me wrong, like, I love SPED classes. I love children, especially children who have like a learning disability or a delay, because they are just so funny. Like, they are so full of life. Like, they're so sweet and naive, and a lot of times, like, they're just like happy-go-lucky and they're just living life, and they don't really have a lot of angst. Generally speaking, like, they're happy-go-lucky and they're so sweet and they're really kind. And for the most part, they're gentle. They can be really gentle, unless you make them angry. I've had aspirin bottles thrown at my face and bitten and scratched and all that jazz at my old job. And you know, I went through a good majority of the SPED program, and I really did like it. But then I began to realize, you know, the type of lifestyle that I wanted to have with my family, that being a teacher wasn't actually family friendly, because you're spending a lot of time doing lesson planning, especially if you're a new teacher. And, you know, if you decide to become like a student teacher, first off, you're not getting paid for your time being a student teacher. And then second off, if you're an intern, you don't have that mentor teacher giving you the advice that you would need, and like kind of having a safety net. And teaching is very, 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 very emotional. And there is a lot that goes into it. It's very time consuming. and it is very much a labor of love. But I was realizing, you know, you really don't get summers off because you have to go in and you have to do more training, because you do have to do training. You have to set up your classroom. You have to make sure that your lesson plans are solid. You have to have backup lesson plans in case of an emergency, for when you have to have like a substitute teacher. You know, you have to, sometimes like you're required to do coaching and after school activities, depending on your grade and their age. And it just made me go, you know, like subbing is actually so much more beneficial for me and my family. I'm actually doing a lot more things that I wanted to do for my family. And once I realized that, you know, having that work-life balance was more important to me, then I realized that, hey, being a substitute teacher is actually fantastic. It's giving me the lifestyle that I truly want. It gives me the ability to pick and choose what grade I'm going into, what classroom I'm going into, what school I'm going into, the admin that I'm working with. It gives me the flexibility to pick my son up from school, drop my son off from school, to go to any activities that he might have after school. It lets me work less hours and get paid really well. It provides a lot for me and my family. Unfortunately, regular teaching just doesn't give. One onion, which, by the way, I do love helping the community. I love helping the kids figure out, you know, their things, and seeing them change and grow into the people that they're going to be when they become older. Some of the kids in this particular class, I've literally seen them since they were in 6th grade, and now they're in the 11th grade. So throughout the years, I've seen them grow and change. So it's an honor. I think it's really important to talk to your high schoolers about, you know, what's the lifestyle you want? What do you want to do in life? What do you want to accomplish? Like, what's the kind of family style or, you know, life do you want? Like, are you going to want to be there for your kids' games? Or are you wanting to be like stay-at-home mom? Do you want to make a lot of money? You know, how much work and effort do you want? Do you want to travel a lot? These are things that I personally think as a parent we should be talking about with our older kids. We just kind of have to think about, how much time do you want to spend at your work? How much time do you want it to eat into your personal life? Do you want your personal life to be more important than your work life? You know, and that's what I think about, because like I'm more of like a person oriented. But you know, just try to have conversations about lifestyle and like where they want to go and what they want to do, you know, and help them try to figure it out. But then again, like, you can make all the plans in the world, and sometimes none of them stick, and life just kind of unfolds and happens, which is okay. But you know, just try to help them out. As you can see, they're frozen together. I'm just gonna dice up the chicken, and I'm gonna cube it because my husband likes cubed. I'm gonna put a little seasoning in a plastic bag with avocado oil, just because I need to go pick up my son and let this marinate for a little bit while I go do my errands that I need to go do while I'm picking him up. So I'm gonna just put the chicken here, like so, put it back in the fridge for a little bit, and then I'll just dump it out. I'm gonna go in with some Kinder's Buttery Steakhouse. I'm going to go in with black pepper. Then I'm going to go in with some Italian seasoning. Then I'm going to go in with some basil leaves. Then I'm going to go in with some sea salt. Okay, not too crazy with the salt. Then I'm going to seal this up. Go like this. We're going to see if we need more seasoning or if this is going to be enough. We have enough seasoning in here. Okay, so I have some lemon juice. Pour that in. Okay, this is probably going to be in the fridge for like 30 minutes while I go get my son. I have my water boiling with salt, and then I have my pan that's already heated. I have my chicken that I marinated for a little bit. It's all gonna go into the pan. Let's see here. So I cooked the pasta off camera. I have the chicken cooking and it's pretty much done. I'm going to add my vegetables now. My bell pepper and onion. I'm going to add my spinach. I'm just going to use it up because we need to use up the spinach. Okay, I'm going to add some pepper and salt to the veggies. Let the veggies cook down. Down. Yeah. Okay. Let me see the garlic in. I'm gonna let my vegetables cook down a little bit before I add them to the noodles and then add the sauce. So it's cooked down a little bit. You can see I'm going to add some garlic. I'm not going to use a spoon because I'm busy. That looks pretty good. I'm going to add some fresh Parmesan. What? Wait, no way, Logan. Okay, so I'm going to mix the Parmesan and I'm going to put some black pepper. And hopefully I like this because it's the first time trying this sauce, so I don't know if we'll buy it again. I'm not usually in Sprouts, but my husband really wanted a specific pasta for his mac and cheese this Thanksgiving, so that's why I was in there. This on a 2. so that come together. Okay, pretty much cooked my vegetables. It's going to go into the big pot. And then I'm going to put in the pasta. We're going to mix this over here. Okay, mix, mix, mix. Now I'm going to add in the pasta sauce. This is from Sprouts. This is where I got it from. Okay, I'm gonna go put a little bit of water in here and then mix, 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 and put it in. Put a little bit of water in here. Give it a good shake. Pour it in. And then I'm going to mix the sauce in. So this is what it's going to look like in the end. Just make sure you can either put more Parmesan or mozzarella cheese on top and serve. And that's going to be dinner. I hope you enjoyed and thanks for watching. Bye!